Reignite your intuition to show to grow your intuitive self. This is the episode where I talk about working off and online. My name is Angela and I'm your host of the show and a highly intuitive person by birth who never lost her connection. I am the expert in supporting you, regaining your intuition and living a fulfilled and much easier life with it. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and is a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and strategies I have developed to support yourself on a daily basis in any situation. By signing up to my freebie, you can support yourself to connect with your intuition. Go to angelahack.com, podcast English, there you'll find the link. People who've heard from me before have realized I do offer my services in German and English, and my mother language is Swiss German, which is actually, as per some people's definition as German dialect, as per my definition, my mother tongue. And then I also do off and online coaching. How the hell does that come? Most people started online business to be independent and work from wherever they want to. That's partially why I work online. But I also like to meet people in person. That's why I work offline. And now, what's the difference? Working with me, there's no difference. If you're a hairdresser, you can't go online. At least not for the cutting part. Probably you can tell people how to color their hair, but I'm not sure if the quality is as good. In my business, it doesn't matter. It's very simple because the connection through the world, through the, as I call it, Mama Cloud, is all over the place. Doesn't make a difference where in the world you are at. Therefore, no matter where you're at, therefore, no matter what you do, if you want to contact on and offline, it totally works. I am surprised how many people like to work offline with me. Honestly, I was really surprised. I was like, really? Isn't it more comfortable in front of a computer? Then I figured, wait a second. Some people need the physical touch. Yeah. So that doesn't mean they're getting all hugs and whatever, but it means like they see me in person. And for me, it doesn't make a difference. I'm very keen in what I do, and it's very important for me that my quality is very, very high. And in the beginning, I must admit, I was like, oh my God, will it work? Yes, it will. It totally will work. It totally works out because it works. Our soul is all over the place. There is no good, bad, plus, minus, whatever. The soul is always there. It's a difference for the body. The body is where it is. And I think that's an absolutely great asset that we can do both. That we have the chance to go international, that we have the chance to work in several languages, that we have so many chances in this world. There is no reason not to take the chance and go for it. I also work as constellation worker, and at the beginning when I worked with constellation, I was like, oh my goodness, I can only do that offline and it won't work otherwise. And I still sometimes have these thoughts, but that's just my brain. That's my logic area that's already confused by constellation work anyway. So what the hell is that part in myself telling me? That's not going to work out. So I can tell you constellation work works offline and online the same. It takes a little bit more energy, let's call it a little bit more flexibility. But you can work with cameras, you can work with everything. Okay, and that's what it's very important about. I know that a lot of people have the idea that the different energy that's coming is impossible to be sent through the world without being in the same room. I can tell you that much, that works. It totally works. I don't know if you have seen other energy workers, that works. If you have any idea of Reiki or Reiki Meisters, when they are sending energy, it works. Or from distance healer, it works. So energy is always around. Or a very simple example, when you are not in the same country, for example, with someone you love dearly and the person is very close to you, does it work that you can connect with that person or doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. And that's why in my business, as a psychic life coach, you can work wherever you want on offline. I think that's so cool. And that's so weird on the other hand. If I remember, I had the luxury of growing up in the countryside. I was riding first a pony and then I got a horse. I was very, very spoiled in this area. And then there was the time when I figured going on riding alone is super cool. Yeah, works. And then mobile phones were popular, and not anymore these huge ones. The small ones started to become popular. And all of a sudden I had to take a mobile phone with me. It was a rule. It was not anymore like telling my mom, listen, I go this and this way, giving in an extra 30 minutes to make some bullshit while riding. Nope. I had my mobile, and if anything happens, you give a call. Back then I was around 17, I think, and I could not imagine to live like today. I have a smartphone and I can connect with the whole freaking world. And it's so awesome. One of my friends, she lives in the East Coast of the US, and I'm definitely not there. I'm 6 hours ahead. I'm in Switzerland. And with WhatsApp, it feels like we're just around the corner from each other. We can talk, we can chat, we can whatever. And this is a luxury that we are not aware enough, I would say, what a flexibility it gives us. We might not be thankful enough or realistic enough what it really means to us. So I'm really thankful to be able to work online. And I still think the most important button on a computer, on a smartphone, is the button to switch it off. The connection between humans, the discussions with each other, etc., are so, so, so important. We need it all. And especially smartphones have the ability to give us the chance to disappear, let's call it like that. To disappear from our daily routines and go into whatever gaming or whatever. And then it's not that smart. And therefore, I think it's for me important to have the offline area as well. So I'm not only talking to a camera and a microphone. And I think we should become much more conscious about this topic of being consciously off and online. I think parents with kids do get that better than others because usually or mostly parents give their kids so-called online time. And then they're offline. They have like 1 hour online and that's it per day. And then you become much, much more conscious about it. And I think that's something missing for most adults. So I'm looking forward to hear about you, how you feel with offline and online. And it does not always have to do with work, okay? It's just my example as I'm working often online in German and English and whatever. I like to have it a little bit, I don't call it complicated, I'd say challenging, because for me it's fun. Even my coach was like, you really want to go into languages? And I was like, yeah, I stick to both languages. It's fun, but that's how I am. So I'd love to hear from you, your experiences, because I think every one of us, different ages, different jobs, different nationalities, different views, have a different way how to deal with it. And I never forget the best part about my sailing trip. When you sail out of a harbor, you look at your mobile and somebody's writing you and writing you and writing you and writing you, and then at a certain point, connection's gone for weeks, and all it becomes is an alarm clock that you're having. Your alarm is just a smartphone that's useless for the rest because you're somewhere in the middle of nowhere with the most beautiful stars, with the most beautiful scenery, and nobody can disturb you. And I think it would be very healthy for all of us to experience that. And back to why I work often online. It's very simple. I love what I do, and it's one of my goals to make the world more conscious and people more connected within themselves. And with the online area, I'm much wider spread in this world than offline. But hey, if you feel like coming to Zurich, personally, to make sure that you meet me offline, you're most welcome. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Are you ready for reignition? 100%? Why don't you just go to my homepage, angelahack.com, and sign up for a 30-minute free call? It's probably even more efficient than the freebie because, as we know, we download stuff and then we forget about it. Make sure that you give yourself the value of 30 minutes of your lifetime to start your personal growth and connect better with your intuition. Thank you for listening to Reignite Your Intuition. Did you like my podcast? Come back, share it, tell others about it, make comments. Just let the world know there is something special out there.